Nagbabalik po ang Rise and Shine Pilipinas. Mga ka-RSP, kalusugan ng ating mga kababaihan ang ating tututukan ngayong umaga. Marami sa mga kababaihan yung nagbabaliwala lamang po ng mga sakit na nararamdaman sa kanilang reproductive system.
Kaya naman ngayong Women's Month, mahalagang pag-usapan natin ang isa sa mga karaniwang kondisyong bumabagabag sa reproductive health ng mga kababaihan, ang uterine fibroids o tinatawag ding leiomyoma. At makasama po natin umaga si Doc Mays Kiong, isang OBGYN, upang bigyan linaw sa atin kung ano nga ba ang sakit na ito. Good morning po, Doc, and welcome sa Rise and Shine Pilipinas. This is Prof. Fee together with Audrey, Rise and Shine.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, Doktora, una sa lahat, para sa kalaman po ng mga ka-RSP po natin, ano po ba itong sakit na uterine fibroids o yung leiomyoma?
Yes. Actually, itong mga leiomyoma or uterine fibroid, maliliit ito na bukol, which is usually benign. When we say benign, is not cancerous, no? Nandito siya sa location usually ng uterus, no, matres. So, most of the time, yung pasyente, wala siyang nararamdaman, no? Minsan incidental finding lang. And then, when you see a doctor, sometimes, because of the physical exam and the clinical history, nadadiagnose yung myoma.
Okay, Doc, ano-ano po mga karaniwang sanhi o risk factors kung bakit nagkakaroon nitong uterine fibroids, lalo na mga kababaihan?
Since the exact cause, yung bakit nagkakamayoma is unclear, hindi natin alam exactly why nagkakamayoma. So it's very difficult also to prevent it, no? But there are certain demographic areas that are more prone, like race, no, and genetics. So genetics meaning if you have a parent or a relative na merong myoma, mas malaki din ang chance mo na magka-myoma ka. Some factors would be early menarche, mas maaga nagregla, obesity, and overweight, and also decrease in vitamin D.
Let me just correct myself, hindi lalo, mga kababaihan. Okay. Ayan,
Okay, well, Doc, ano po ba itong mga sintomas na dapat bantayan ng ating mga kababaihan?
Yes. I think mga women, no, should be aware of what they're feeling. So kung may na-feel na silang medyo mas masakit, ang regla or naiba, yung flow ng regla mahaba, or mas maiksi na yung interval, they should see a doctor talaga. Theoretically, ideally, pag nasa reproductive age ka na, you should have a regular check-up with your OBGYN. One of the most common thing na wala silang alam, no, biglang may myoma na pala sila, is bigla silang dudugo ng malakas. To the point na baka mag-anemia sila, no? So that's the time that they will see a doctor, then we will find na may myoma pala sila. Yung iba naman, parang ang sakit umihi. Yung pala malaki na yung myoma, dumagan na dun sa pantom. Okay, dumagan sa ibang organs ng katawan. That's why pupunta sila kasi may nararamdaman sila. Then that's the time that we diagnose myoma. There are other things pa, no, na the patient can feel, no, parang bloated, masakit mag-poop, nahirapan mag-poop, masakit umihi, or masakit during intimate moments.
Ayun. Doc, how can we diagnose this? What are the tests na karaniwang ginagawa para matuklasan po ito?
So aside from the clinical history and the physical examination, minsan pagkapa lang namin, nafe-feel namin malaki yung matres. So we suspect already myoma, no? But the most common diagnostic things that we use is ultrasound, no? Most of the time transvaginal ultrasound, no? And then for patients who have really big myoma, no, pwede ding abdominal and transvaginal ultrasound. Sometimes MRI could help, but the most common modality talaga is transvaginal ultrasound. The transvaginal ultrasound, by the way, will show us where the myoma is, nasaan siya, kasi the location of the myoma is very important. Pag nasa lining siya ng matres, ito usually ang nagkakos ng profuse bleeding, no? Pag nasa matres naman siya, sa muscle mismo or outside, less cause for bleeding but can cause the compression symptoms. Ito na yung nakadagan sa pantog o kaya sa bituka, no? Ito yung nagkakos ng pain and discomfort sa babae, yung pagmalaki na talaga yung myoma. Kaya most of the time, if it's benign, patients, hindi sila nagpapacheck up kasi wala silang na-feel.
Okay. Well, Doc, gaano po kadelikado itong sakit na ito? Maaari po ba itong magdulot ng komplikasyon kung hindi agad mapapagamot?
Yes. In extreme cases, yes, it can cause a lot of problem. But one of the most common talaga na problem is pag nasa lining nga ng mattress yung myoma, which can really cause profuse bleeding, leading to blood transfusion, and sometimes hihimatay na lang yung babae sa sobrang lakas ng bleeding. A very small case of the myoma will lead to cancer, very, very small, no? So, most of the time, we have to monitor the myoma kung feeling natin lumalaki, so that we can give options like medical management, like injection and all that, no? But ang importante is ma-monitor yung babae kasi kung sobrang lakas ng bleeding, we have the option of medical treatment or we can remove the myoma.
Okay, Doc, ano-ano po mga paraan ng paggamot para sa uterine fibroids? At kailan po kinakailangan naman ng operasyon?
Okay, so as much as possible, we don't want to go to operation right away. So it really depends kung gaano kadami ang myoma niya, gaano kalaki, nasaan ang location, no? If the myoma is nasa lining talaga ng mattress, most of the time we really have to resect the myoma to remove the cause of the bleeding. There are mga medical management like injection, GnRH agonist, no? Sometimes low dose oral contraceptive pills. We also have the i-embolize yung blood supply ng myoma para mag-shrink na siya. There's also the HIFU, which is high intensity focus ultrasound. Hopefully this will help shrink the myoma or at least hindi na siya lumaki. But the end point is if hindi wala talagang choice, like sobrang laki talaga yung myoma, no, that you know it won't really respond to any medical treatment at saka yung pasyente talaga ang dami ng signs and symptoms, then the most common thing that we usually do first is myomectomy. We just remove the myoma, not the whole uterus, okay? Ang pagtanggal ng buong mattress is only if kailangan, example, menopause naman na siya, ayaw niya man na niya mag-baby, no? Tapos na and masyadong malaki, then that's the only time that we do hysterectomy. But the myomectomy, yung pagtanggal ng myoma and hysterectomy is reserved for if really needed. If we can give the patient medical management, that would be the first line.
Okay, panghuli na lamang po, Doc, ano? Lalo na ngayong Women's Month, ano po ba yung inyong maipapayo sa ating mga kababaihan para makaiwas o mapanatiling malusog ang kanilang reproductive health?
First, please see your gynecologist. Okay, kahit na routine check-up lang, at least once a year. Eat healthy, exercise, sleep well. There is always power in choosing yourself.
Ang ganda ng sinabi ni
Kaya
Doc,
nga,
di ba? Napakaganda ng kanyang mga information na binigay sa atin, napakamalaman. On that note, maraming salamat sa pagbibigay ng kaalaman patungkol sa sakit na uterine fibroids, Doc May Siquillon.
Maraming salamat, Doc.
Thank you.